Hi guys, this is Amar and welcome to Network Engineer Stuff. So guys, if you are a fresher or you have some experience or you have some idea about NOC, or if you don't have any idea about NOC and want to prepare for a NOC network engineer interview, then please do watch this video, which is top 10 basic NOC network engineer interview question and answer. So let's guys start with question number 1. So, question number 1 says, what is NOC? So, NOC is NOC. NOC is Network Operations Center. So, when we say center, we mean to say a centralized location, some place, okay, which is centralized. That is center. Now, a centralized place for what? For network operations. So what is network operations? So to understand network operations, let's take an example of HDFC Bank, a very famous service of internet banking. So internet banking is some service of HDFC Bank, which HDFC Bank offers to its customer. Now the customers, to access this the service of this bank, internet banking, from its laptop or computer or mobile phone, it will need some network, and for that network, it will need some network infra, right? So it will need some network infrastructure. Now, this network is very important. This network infrastructure is very important because this is something which will make the users possible to access a service which are hosted in bank, right? So to maintain this particular network infrastructure, to build this, basically to build, to maintain, to monitor, to troubleshoot in case of issue, there need to be some team, right? There need to be some team, some IT team or some network team to do these things, to maintain this, to operate this, to build this network infra. And this, as the services need to be available 24/7, you always want internet banking to be on, right? It is not like, after in your night time the internet banking is not working. It is not like that. Okay, it need to be present 24/7. So the same way, the network team or the IT team also need to work 24/7. So when I say 24/7, I mean to say 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Means continuous, around the clock availability. So this is what I've mentioned in this particular slide. Yeah. So NOC is a centralized location where the IT or the network teams are responsible for 24/7 monitoring and troubleshooting of network infrastructure. Now this is why we need this, because we need to ensure that all the customers do have maximum uptime. The services should be available to them and there will be good performance and of course security. Let's move on to this particular part. I've mentioned this additional part over here that many people have this question of NOC, like which all companies will have NOC. When you are searching for a job as a fresher, as a NOC engineer, you will always have this question: which all companies will have this kind of stuff? Which all companies will have NOCs? So these are the types of the networks which will have NOCs. Of course, the ISPs. So when we talk about ISPs are nothing but internet service provider like Jio, Airtel, Vodafone. So they will have their own NOCs. Okay. Again, banks, Punjab National Bank, SBI, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank. So they will have their own NOCs. Data centers like NTT is a data center provider in India. So, they will have the NOC. Cloud service providers like AWS, Azure, they will have the NOC. So there are a lot of opportunities when you are studying, networking because of these things. Because each major players, they want a network infra and they want the people to manage this network infra. So there's a lot of demand. When people ask me that, is there any demand for networking? Yes, there's a lot of demands demand for network engineers, and this demand is going to go up. Question number 2. What is your understanding about role of L1 NOC engineer? So this, many people are preparing. I understand that some people have very few years of experience watching this video. Some people are fresh; they have no experience. They have no idea about what an L1 NOC engineers do. So that is the reason why I've added this question. So L1 NOC engineer basically do MHPOE. That is, it monitors the alerts, he handles the incidents, he performs basic troubleshooting, he opens tickets, he escalates the issue. Again, monitor the alerts. What is this alerts? Handles the incident. What are these incidents? Performs basic troubleshooting. What kind of troubleshooting? Opens ticket, escalate issues. So what are these things? So these are the roles of an L1 NOC engineer. So when you are a fresher, a beginner, a few years of experience, of course you will be hired as an L1 NOC engineer. So these are the roles. And of course we will see what are these alerts, incidents, tickets, escalate this issue, what all these things, what are this terminology. We will see in our next slides. That is the reason I have mentioned accordingly, the fundamental things of the NOCs in this particular video. So guys, do remember this stuff. So everybody should be aware that while they're approaching or they're preparing for the NOC interviews, what is the role of a L1 NOC engineer. So let's move to the next question. Question number 3. What is the difference between alert and incident? As we saw here, the NOC engineer is responsible for monitoring the alerts. He is responsible to handle the incidents. So what is the difference between alerts and incident? So alert is a system generated notification indicating a potential or detected abnormal condition in the network. So when we talk about alert, so now this part is clear, right guys, that alert is something which is related to monitoring. So the guy who is monitoring the network, okay, there is a network engineer, okay, let's say, okay, so this is a network engineer, very fresher there. Now he is responsible for monitoring the network. Now this is a network he is monitoring, okay. Now how he is going to monitor this network? There will be some monitoring tool. We'll discuss about this in question number 10, monitoring tools. So there will be some monitoring tools. Now if something is going wrong in the network, an alert will be generated in the monitoring tool. So the network engineer, the monitoring engineer will be able to will be notified with that, right? So as of like, you are getting some notification on your mobile phones related to some notifications, and the same kind of things. If something is going wrong in this in the network, or there's something which will go wrong in the network, I've mentioned your potential means things which may lead to an issue, so such kind of things are been monitored, and they have been displayed on the monitoring tool as an alert to the monitoring team, that is the L1 engineer. Okay, so this is alert. Incident is something which is unplanned interruption or degradation of the services, like something is broken, something is gone down, and which needs to be fixed immediately, like a router. Okay, let's say there's a router in the network. Now this router is gone down. Okay, now once this router is gone down, anything which is connected to the router will be down. So if there is, let's say, some server connected to that router, so that it will lose its reachability, right? So when something is broken and which needs to be fixed right now is incident. It is an unplanned thing. It's an unplanned interruption in the service. I've added this slide which will give you a good idea about alert and incident. So alert is nothing but system notification which may or may not affect the users. Okay. But whereas in the incident, it is service impacting, users are impacted in incident. Like alert may be like, that there's a router in the networks and CPU utilization is 80%. It has gone 80%. So this is a potential thing which, this is a thing which may create an issue in the future. So router CPU's got 80%. This is an alert. right? But router is unreachable. This is an incident. Okay, so there's a difference, right? Now this may or may not impact the services, but this router unreachable, router gone down, of course it will impact the users, it will impact the services. So this is a major difference between alert and incident. So let's quickly move to the next question, a very interesting one. What is a ticket? So ticket is not this movie ticket. So this ticket is a record used to track issues, action taken and resolution. Now in this particular slide, we have seen here this point, this particular opens ticket. Network engineer opens ticket. Now what did they do with this ticket? What is this ticket for? So let's say there is some alert or incident. Okay. Let's say in the network there was some switch. Now this switch went down. The L1 engineer, NOC engineer informed the other people also that this has gone down. The switch has gone down. Many people were informed. Some action was taken for that. After taking the action, the issue was resolved. Okay. Now all this stuff, the action taken, the resolution, there's still some notes related to that. So this need to be recorded, right? The network. So this need to be recorded. So where are these things recorded? So this is recorded by a ticket. So there's normally a ticket is a number kind of thing. So again, to record this ticket or to create this ticket, to maintain this ticket, we have the ticketing tools like ServiceNow. Now this is very famous, widely used ticketing tool. ServiceNow and BMC Remedy is also very widely used ticketing tool. I have worked on both this ticketing tools. So, but most of time I've worked on ServiceNow. So, so these are the few of the ticketing tools. So guys, so ticketing tool is very simple. It's a record which is used to track the issues. So whatever was the issue that particular ticket will have. Okay, this switch was down. The action was taken by so and so engineer, and the issue was resolved in so and so time. So this kind of stuff will be there in the ticket. What is escalation? Now, when we say here also again I have to move to question number 2. Sorry, escalate the issue. This is a job responsibility of an L1 NOC engineer to escalate the issue. Now, what do you mean by escalation? Escalation is a process of passing an issue to higher support level. To pass an issue to the higher support level or specialized team when it cannot be resolved within a defined time. So this is escalation. Now, you people may or may not be aware, but like in the NOC operations or in the network, we do have some kind of support teams. Like within network team also, we will have multiple support teams like L1 support team. Now L1 support team will be majorly doing this monitoring kind of stuff. Basic troubleshooting which we are currently discussing, raising the ticket. This kind of stuff the monitoring team will be doing. Now here the guys will be fresher or a very less experienced people will be there in L1 team. L2 team will be those guys with mid kind of experience, and they will be very expert in routing and switching kind of things, security kind of things. They will be very well aware of the network, the troubleshooting kind of stuff. L2 teams and L3 teams, L3 support team will be those guys who are very senior, who are specialized in the network, who know the design, who have the capability of doing the designing part of the network. So such kind of people will be there in L3 team. So there are this support, various kind of supports, L1, L2, L3 support. So these are the supports which are there. Now there will be always some escalation metrics. I have mentioned over here this escalation metrics. So what actually exactly happens is that, let's say there's some routing issue which has happened. Okay, there's some issue which has happened, and L1 team is not able to resolve that issue. Okay, then what L1 team should do? It should first of all try to resolve that issue. But if it is not able to resolve the issue within the defined time, there will be some timeline defined. Okay. Now this timeline will be of course defined in some agreement. Okay. Let's say there will be a timeline, let's say 15 minutes. Now let's say in 15 minutes, the L1 support team is not able to resolve the issue, the routing issue. then L1 team should escalate this issue to L2 team, and then L2 team will take care of that. Okay. So escalation is the process of passing an issue to a higher support level. So which cannot be resolved within a defined time. So this is what we have discussed. So this defined time is an agreement, and this agreement is nothing but SLA, which is service level agreement. So what is SLA? So guys, SLA is nothing but a service level agreement, or I can say an agreement which defines the service level. A service level agreement, SLA, is a formal agreement that defines the expected service levels, including response time, resolution time, and availability. So let's say in case of a failure, as we see that there's some failure, let's say. So what will be the response time? In how much time that failure should be detected and the team should respond? In how much time it should be resolved? How quickly it should be escalated to the next level? The services will be available for how much of time? So all these things are defined in something known as SLA, which is service level agreement. And when you are working in a NOC, you will always come across this word SLA, and this is something which is so important to follow this agreement. Everything depends upon this SLA only. Like here I have mentioned, in SLA. Okay, so it will define the time to respond, to resolve the failure, the percentage of time the network or the services should remain up. So there are a lot of times the SLA is 99.9%. So the availability should be 99.9, means out of 100 hours, 99.9 hours the service should be available. So such kind of SLAs are there. If let's say SLA is not able to meet that expectation, there's some expectation defined in this, and the team is not able to meet that expectation, then there will some kind of penalty, and this kind of thing are there. So that is SLA. So the SLA is very important. There are more 4 questions. So guys, I think we will cover it in the next video, maybe in part 2. There are 4 more questions, and which are very important, especially question number 10. So we'll cover it in the next video. I think I'll stop here. Guys, if you want the notes of this particular stuff, you can mail me on networkengineerstuff@gmail.com. I'll mail you this stuff. And if you want any other notes, you can mail me, that are free of cost. So guys, I'll catch up in the next part, part 2 of this particular interview question and answers. Thank you.